Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Walkshow podcast. This is your host, Walker Neer. We've got a special treat for you today. We've got my friend Misha Zarins on the show. He's also the producer, artist, and musician for the show. We talk about our thoughts on St. Patrick's Day and bathroom etiquette, some best tips, mostly for men. Women, you can still take these tips and advocate them out. Also, going forward, you guys are always welcome to email me questions or comments on any show and really any topic. I will be happy to answer them. The email address is walker@thewalkshowpodcast.com. Again, that is walker@thewalkshowpodcast.com. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the show. Well, coming up this weekend is St. Patrick's Day.
Woo!
I personally do not give a shit about St. Patrick's Day.
Me too.
Okay. It's obviously pretty popular. There's a pub crawl here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Apparently starting pretty early in the afternoon, from what we just heard.
Correct.
But yeah, I'm not going to go to that, and I don't care at all about St. Patrick's Day. Honestly, when I think about St. Patrick's Day, I think about when I was a kid. If you didn't wear green, then other kids would be like, "Oh, I could hit you in the arm," and it's
Or
like,
pinch you.
yeah,
I always got pinched.
Whatever
I
it is, it's
understand
like-
the pinching.
it's like, hey, don't touch me, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
no touching.
Right. I didn't want to wear green. I don't have to wear green. Why are you physically assaulting me now?
Well,
This
and
is weird.
why do you act like this holiday counts for something? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Right.
Who does it mean anything to?
Right.
Irish people?
No.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
So then, yeah, who? People who wish they were Irish? Like, kind of like weeaboos, except with Ireland? Maybe that exists?
Yeah. So I attribute a lot of St. Patrick's Day. This is like a really big far fetch, but it makes sense for my worldview, I guess, at least to a certain degree, that a lot of Irish culture is kind of associated with like frat boy, tough guy mentality, I guess you could say. Like, there's a lot of people I know that like the Irish pride and like the I'm gonna drink whiskey, and if
It's
you
like
don't
Conor
drink,
McGregor.
yeah, no, exactly, yeah. If you don't drink whiskey, you're a pussy, and I will drink. You know, it's like modeling your whole life after Brad Pitt and Snatch. You know, like I can stay up all night and drink whiskey, and then I get up and fight barefisted, and I'm the best that there ever is, and I look super hot, and it's just like, what is this? What are you talking about? Like, so it's this whole roll into like false confidence that you've attributed to being tough and assertive by attributing yourself to a culture that you think exhibits that, but it doesn't actually at all. It's not like you go to Ireland and everyone's just bare knuckling fighting each other and they all just drink whiskey and then that's what they do all day long. It's like, it's kind of insulting to the culture.
Yeah, I think because I played, so I used to play this MMO called Dark Age of Camelot, and there's like 3 different factions you can play as in the game, and one of them is based on Celtic lore. So there's like one that's based on like it's kind of like Camelot, like King Arthur lore.
Yeah,
and there's
right.
another one. Then the other faction is like Vikings, Norsemen type stuff, and then there's another one that's like Celtic lore, but it's all like very like mystical, and there's like a lot of like symbolism and like literal just symbols and almost like tribal symbols, but it's not like, it's unique. It's not like a tribe from America or Africa or Australia or anywhere. It's its own unique culture.
Right.
But like that's super cool to me. But yeah, this like tough guy, like mustached bare knuckle boxer thing is super dumb.
Yeah,
like I don't
right.
care at all about
Yeah,
him. Like,
right.
why is
Well,
that popular?
That's not really the celebration at all of the culture. Like, what's funny about St. Patrick's Day is that it's almost like Mardi Gras with green beads, and like that. Like, why do you even have beads? Like, are you throwing at people? Like,
Right.
Yeah, there's a parade, I guess. So do you throw the beads and then you get to see tits or something like Mardi Gras? Like, no, like you just have them and they have like shamrocks on them and like beer mugs, and it's like, okay, that seems really weird. Do you eat Irish food? Do you sing Irish songs? Do you wear Irish clothing? Like, no, just green, and then we get fucked up.
I mean, for me, it's
Okay.
honestly, it's just like a lot of the holidays. Like, I don't care about Columbus Day.
Yeah.
I don't care about
Well, that's the important one.
Valentine's Day. I don't care about New Year's Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and like honestly, what interesting is like Christmas. So I'm not a religious person at all, but I grew up in a household that didn't follow the religion, but that celebrated Christmas every year.
Right.
So even though Christmas is associated with Christianity as a religion, for me, uh, I I don't associate it with that, but it's still like a holiday that has meaning to me because I have a lot
Yeah.
of memories and stuff
Right.
tied to it,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
family.
right.
You know what I mean? So, like, I can understand if or like Thanksgiving, same kind of thing. Like, I have a lot of memories of getting together with my family and having meals and whatever, and it's like a pleasant time. And
Sure.
you know, I don't care at all about the history or whatever because really the history of Thanksgiving is horrible. Yeah.
Correct.
So, but again, like that's fine, and we could not call it Thanksgiving anymore. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Basically, I just want to have a Thursday and Friday off sometime late in November where I get together with the family and eat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
that's
That's
all I
what
want out of
everybody
it.
wants.
Right.
Let's just do that.
Right. Or watch football or whatever. Right.
Right. Right.
But so okay, fine. Or like I used to have a buddy that his family didn't celebrate Christmas at all, but they celebrated Groundhog Day like it was Christmas.
Right.
Like exchanged presents, had a tree, like
Cool.
the whole thing except on Groundhog Day. So like if your family did that or your group of friends or whatever did that, like I could get how maybe you would have some attachment to the holiday or whatever, but who the fuck does anything meaningful on St. Patrick's Day? Like,
Right. Right.
Where does this attachment come from?
There's
Like-
no like, well, you can go out to the bars, but really the tradition is like ground rooted in like family tradition and you hang out with your family and you do that. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that do that, maybe of like Irish descent. I guess maybe, but it's certainly not portrayed that way in any kind of pop culture or anything that you can kind of, relate it to. It's just like what everybody knows from a social standard of what St. Patrick's Day is that you go out to the bars and you get fucked up and you just drink green beer and it's like, hey, you want some, Irish food? Like, yeah, whatever. I'll just eat like street tacos. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just here to get fucked up. And then that's it. Really?
But that's just every other single day that you would go to a bar.
Right. Correct. Yeah. It's just on this day you happen to do it wearing green and you're just
Dressing up
using
like
it.
a Lucky Charms
Right.
motherfucker.
Right. Which the Irish find incredibly insulting.
'Cause how could you not?
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah, so I looked up today because I was like, all right, well, maybe lost in tradition and American culture is actually some like really meaningful, like charitable humanitarian gesture that St. Patrick is famous for.
Yeah.
That like it's like, oh well, okay, because I'm not religious, so I don't know what different saints do.
Right.
But my understanding is that it's like, oh well, that saint like saved a bunch of children.
Yeah.
Like, or
Yeah.
like I think Mother Teresa.
The constraint is that to be nominated for sainthood, you have to perform 3 miracles that the Pope deems as 3 miracles, and
I don't
then
know.
you get elevated.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
I know.
Yeah, but I think Mother Teresa is a saint.
Is she?
I could be
don't
making
know.
that up.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Right.
Let's assume she
Let's
is.
assume so. Sure.
Sorry, Catholics. Either way, though, like the point just being that my understanding is like if you're a saint, it's because you're like a super nice, again, humanitarian person. So like, okay, cool. Let's look that up and see what it is.
Right.
Does not exist. Now, articles on St. Patrick exist. That humanitarian act does not exist.
Yeah. Correct.
There's just a person who quote unquote brought Catholicism to
Christianity.
Ireland. Yeah, to
Yeah.
Ireland. And it's like, oh, so it's just a conqueror.
Yeah.
It's just an inquisitor.
Right.
It's just what Spain did here,
Yeah.
or in the
Yeah.
British and whatever. But,
Right.
Like,
Because he was
Oh.
taken as a slave when he was a kid, and he was a slave in Ireland, and then he escaped Ireland and was able to come back to Britain, where he was from and taken from, and then decided, I guess, from that point on that he was going
to go save everyone
and free everybody. Correct.
Nice.
Correct.
Wow, what a humble act to. I'm sure there was no revenge in his heart whatsoever.
Right.
He didn't need to dig two graves.
Yeah, didn't harbor a grudge there at all.
No. He had no cold dishes.
I don't really know what he meant by saving either.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
that he
just
said
like,
that. I just
here's
said
the Bible, and like, oh, cool, I'll read that. Like, I saved one. Got it. Like, is that what we're saying? Saving? Like,
I think basically, yeah.
Like the Christian saving, that's what we're going for?
Yeah, I think that's what he would have been doing. But anyway, so he so he basically just probably largely eradicated the native people of that place and or enslaved or otherwise intimidated them into following his religion and giving up their paganism.
Right.
And is also supposedly responsible for driving all of the serpents from the land, because I guess there's no snake, there's no reptiles whatsoever in Ireland.
Right.
Correct. Which I would guess is probably isn't it just cold and probably the climate doesn't suit them?
Yeah, right.
Is probably what it is.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Well, and it's an island, so if there's not a population to grow there,
how did they get there?
Right.
Someone had to drop them off.
Sustain there,
and no one takes snakes on a boat. So.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Maybe bring a pupper. Yeah, bring it.
But yeah, chased out the snake. So guessing, just from my understanding recently of that I'm guessing that's a metaphor, just like the serpents that are historically kind of taught about in the Bible and biblical references as being
it's the devil.
Evil.
It's the devil.
It's
the devil is the snake, right?
So it's a metaphor. So he's saving people by driving out the serpents, meaning the people that are,
And this is where the magic of religion comes in, is that it's just both. It's metaphorically driving out the pagan, and literally there are no snakes in Ireland.
Right.
So it's both. Thank you, St. Peter. Or St. Peter, St. Patrick, yeah.
St. P something.
Whatever.
It's a P word.
Well, and so because there's no humanitarian effort, does anyone care? Like, because don't they have like sigils or something that they carry around for the different saints? Like, this is my thing that symbolizes a saint or something. It's like my good luck charm. And I'm not trying to make fun of it at all. Just literally like,
so
that's the thing. Does anyone have it?
Like the shamrock was traditionally thought to be something that's of Irish culture. I always thought that when I was a kid, like, the shamrock, like Irish, box of Lucky Charms has fucking, a shamrock on, like just largely attributed shamrock to Lucky Charm. The shamrock only represents the Holy Trinity. That's why you had a shamrock.
Right.
So if you have a shamrock and you present that, it's showing that you're like a firm believer in the Holy Trinity.
I will say that's a confusing, and I'm not again trying to attack it or get into it even really, other than to say that Holy Trinity is a complicated and confusing idea, and the shamrock is an interesting metaphor for that. Because it is one thing with three things, but the shamrock doesn't like betray one of the things. And anyway, again, I'm not trying to. Anyway,
forsake itself,
right? And question why it did that to itself, and then have another other form that runs around and just has people babble at each other.
Right.
Anyway,
so
again,
as far as I know, that's the only symbolism that's there that represents him in a cultural significance. I don't know if there's candles or flags or a scarf that you wear other than green. But even then, green is largely accepted as being the color that was attributed to St. Patrick's Day, but actually originally it was blue. So at some point it became green, and it just became this widespread thing where it became green, and then Irish were like, yeah, fuck it, we'll just use it to lure in tourism, and people come here and spend a lot of money if I have green and shamrock. So we'll just, hey, I'm Irish, and whatever. So it just became, so the whole day, the whole pub crawl, everything associated, it just became this giant farce that we created that was almost like Valentine's Day, where it's just isn't this just a Hallmark holiday that was created from someone that just preached some word of God that whatever people liked, but is that really a attribution to having them have their own
there's a lot of people that do that. I've known some pastors and preachers in my life. There's some cool ass dudes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a day for them though.
Yeah, correct.
And that's what they're doing.
Right.
So
technically we could get our own holiday if we went to a country that didn't have that.
And anytime I've ever been to a church, what I've never encountered? A snake. Never had a snake in the church with me. So apparently, more than fucking Saint whatever Patrick are driving snakes out because I've never had one anywhere around me when I've been around a pastor.
Unless you're in one of those churches where they have the
oh my god, those are hilarious. Where it bites them and like they have to go to the hospital and it's
they
like
die. And it's like I don't know how your congregation really interprets that. Like, well, the devil really got the best of him. Apparently, his faith did not overcome that.
There has to be
I don't
at least
know.
one person in there that's just like that stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah,
like,
right. Well, what do you think was going to happen when you're handling a live animal that is
It's
not
a venomous,
inherently evil?
dangerous
Right, exactly.
thing.
It's just a thing that you're handling inappropriately. It's just attacking you.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I guess I can say that again, as I said at the very beginning of the episode here, I do not care about St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, me either.
I will not celebrate it.
Me either.
If someone texts me Happy St. Patrick's Day, I might say like you too, or say it back, or because I like to exchange pleasantries with people.
I had a moment of panic last weekend when I went to the grocery store just arbitrarily to get like some food or just something.
That's usually why you go to the grocery store. Not like tires or anything.
Yeah, it's it was just a whim trip, a single momentary errand that I took, but I saw a couple people that were dressed up. And what took me a second to realize St. Patrick's Day garb. Like they had like one woman had a green dress on that was striped and a green hat. And another dude had like a green shirt with like, shamrock, necklace on and whatever. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I wonder what they're doing. And then I was like, oh shit, St. Patrick's Day. And I had this moment of panic when I was like, fuck, I need to get out of here. Like right now. This thing is like bad. Is it St. Patrick's Day weekend? I turned to like Bridget and I was like, is it St. Patrick's Day weekend? It's like, no, I think that's next weekend. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
we gotta get out of here.
You know what? Another one though that I'll give it. Easter. Again, not religious, but not mad at Easter. Don't even really celebrate Easter anymore.
No, I don't either.
Did as a little kid though.
Yeah,
like doing Easter egg hunts and stuff like that.
Right.
But don't begrudge the fact that Easter's a big deal for people and whatever, because again, there's like a family nostalgia, and not even just family, like just friends or whatever, but just like people associating in a good-natured way, not just consuming as much drugs as they can in public together.
No, right. And that's largely what we're talking about here. If there are people out there that are like Irish and are celebrating St. Patrick's Day as like an excuse to celebrate their heritage or use it as a means to like celebrate that, and they have Irish food and song, and they actually celebrate the culture, like that's awesome, and that's great, and that's wonderful, and like that's certainly not what we're talking about. It's largely just picking on the giant groups of people that are like, yeah, I got a green t-shirt, like fuck it, I'll go out and get fucked up.
I mean, you said it as concisely as you could earlier. It's basically just frat boy culture. Yeah, it's just like, all right,
correct. Like I would be very interested to see statistically how many fights occur on St. Patrick's Day versus every other day of the year, because I'm pretty sure it's significantly higher.
Well, actually, is it higher on St. Patrick's Day or the day of the St. Patrick's Day pub crawl?
The pub crawl.
Okay, yeah.
So we don't actually care about the day. The day could be on a Monday. It doesn't matter. It could be on like a Thursday, and they'll do it like the week before.
And we said something about St. Patrick's Day, and they were like, yeah, it's tomorrow. And I was like, well, it's Sunday. And they were like, well, I mean, yeah, tomorrow's the pub crawl.
But the actual pub crawl, like that's the actual celebration, I'm not going to do
like a
shit
white
on
glove
the
and
day.
slap me in the face.
Exactly.
Get a hold of yourself. Like, my bad.
Talking about going out to the bars, the real celebration.
Not a game.
Right.
Talking about practice.
Of course.
Anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
No, so what I wanted to talk about today is the proliferation of what I'll call bad behavior in the men's bathroom.
Oh, man. Absolutely.
I don't know why these things are not self-evident, but they're not. I throughout my adult life have gone into men's bathrooms and had eye contact. Physical contact. I've had a hand on the shoulder before.
Oh, that one's great. Pat on the back.
Not acceptable.
Shoulder rub.
Not acceptable.
Peeing right now. What are you doing?
If I'm touching my penis, you don't touch me. That's it. Like
cardinal rule number 1.
Real easy. Yeah, I don't have a top 10 rules thing, but fucking start writing them down, because I can't take it, and we need to spread this message. And this, this unfortunately is going to be geared mostly towards men because I have no experience in the women's bathroom.
Oh, I do.
I know, fair enough. I know that women will,
not in a fun way or, creepy or whatever.
Is fun and creepy synonymous?
I don't know. I really meant it just more of like I had to pee. There was a giant line for the men's room.
Oh,
so
I've had that experience.
Hey, yeah,
right. But that's not. But that's a single.
Yeah.
That's a single toilet bathroom.
Yeah,
so that's not
correct.
really truly a women's bathroom. Right. That's just a bathroom that.
Glad we're on the same page there because that's what I thought.
That's what I. Fuck that. Yeah.
Explain that to the officer.
Didn't land. So. Wow. Huh.
JK.
I feel like I feel like we don't have the whole story. Anyway,
Never been arrested.
So yeah. So number one, if I'm touching my penis, you don't touch me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm touching my penis, don't talk to me.
Right.
That's another one.
Right.
One time when I was working at a call center, I was in the bathroom and
same rules my ex-wife had actually.
Really does have an ex-wife. Anyway, I'm sitting on the toilet taking a shit, and when I walked in the bathroom, another guy that worked there was like exiting a stall to go to the sink to wash his hands. So I go to sit down on the toilet, and he sees me go into the stall. That's fine, whatever. But don't talk to me from the sink when I'm in a closed stall.
Love that.
Love that. And he was like, "Hey, what's up? What's up, Walker?" And I was like, "Hey." And he's like, "What part of town do you live in?" And I go, "How about we talk when I'm not taking a shit? How about that?"
Polo Club?
Yeah. No, none of that. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be gross either, actually. That's another etiquette move that people are not appreciating. You need to be doing courtesy flushes if you've got bowel problems. I personally have to do Lamaze breathing on the way to the bathroom on a pretty regular basis.
What is a courtesy flush? I never really understood what
I'm straight destroying this toilet right now, and I'm flushing the whole time. Whole time.
But isn't one flush enough to eliminate all the waste? Am I eliminating the waste?
Oh, well, okay. So to be clear, where I work, the toilets are a button to flush, so it's not, I don't know. So I'm just holding the button to like run the flush while it's happening.
But is there a problem with you like filling it up before you can get off? Like, is it a courtesy for someone else?
Yeah, it's a courtesy because it eliminates the smell almost immediately. Because if you flush as soon as it comes out, now there's not this horrible smell.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. You're eliminating the stink odor.
Right. Okay. And the other thing that it does, though, beyond that, is it actually, if you do it, the sound effects that you so generously offered a moment ago.
Correct. Musician.
You can eliminate that as well with the courtesy flush because now the flush sound is happening.
Yeah, I do
over
notice
the sound.
A lot of people in the bathroom tend to release themselves when the sink goes on. Or when someone else flushes, like they're waiting for the moment where like someone flushes and they're like pushing it out.
Right. All so I'll tell you what.
Like, there's some sound masking. We're gonna push it out.
Control your own destiny and fucking do the flush on your own time. Like you don't have to wait. You don't need anyone else to open that door.
Right.
Nepotism is not required for appropriate courtesy flushing. Now I will say I think that there should be, I think that these public bathroom purveyors, if you will, they should be doing more to have music playing in these bathrooms. And I don't care if it's elevator music, that's fine. And there should be a consistent stream of some scent neutralizer. Like it doesn't have to be potpourri because I get it that gets nauseating after a bit, but something to help with this smell.
I totally agree. I think those two are absolutely baseline. It is fucking weird as shit when you go into a place that doesn't have music. Just provide, some elevator music.
Yeah, but my work doesn't. Like
I know it's fucking weird though.
Right.
I work for fucking Boeing. Like you can't afford 2 speakers and a bathroom.
That's what I'm
with
saying.
A fucking
and again,
Spotify playlist.
But
like,
that's why I started this with the real point here is that this is up to the people. This is because we can't control the owners of these bathrooms and what they do, but what you can control is your own self in the moment. And you can do the flush at the right time.
Right.
You can not make eye contact with other people. If you really want to talk,
eye contact.
Yeah.
That's a little too extreme.
No.
Eye contact.
No. You know when you can make eye contact with me?
Okay.
That's you make eye contact with me, and you can even talk to me if we both wash our hands at the same time.
That is the only time it's appropriate to talk in the bathroom openly.
Also, if you're meeting at the door.
Right. Right.
If I'm walking in the door, you're coming out the door. Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Fine.
Right.
But if we're both in the bathroom hunting for a urinal, don't. It's not that important. It's not that important. Nothing I do in all of my life is that important. So I know you don't need to talk to me in the next 30 seconds.
Right. There's no small talk that we can have that can't be established 20 seconds after now when we're both in the sink or out of the bathroom completely.
Right.
Fine.
But so then the other thing that needs to be addressed is that there's also apparently an enormous volume of men passing kidney stones every 2 hours at the urinal.
Yeah.
Who are you that you're literally putting your forearm into the wall and bracing, and then grunting like you're coming? Like, it's fucking appalling. Like, what noises are these? How would you do this at home? I live alone and I wouldn't do that at home. If I did, I would be like, that's too much.
What if they have pancreatic cancer though? You know, I mean,
then there's there's an epidemic. There is an epidemic that I have witnessed firsthand.
Maybe forearm guy on the wall has, pancreatic cancer.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but there's a million of those dudes because it's not one guy. For as long as I've been in the adult workforce, there's a dude burying his arm, and it's not the same dude, but every time I go to the bathroom, a guy is filling that role.
Saying put him in his own bathroom, get him away from us.
I'm saying I don't buy it. I'm saying
put
again, he feels
other freaks
some weird sense of entitlement.
Bathroom where they have their own.
He feels some weird sense of entitlement to just make weird noises and just act like he's not in a public space.
Kind of envious of those people, even though I would never be one of those people that just like completely don't give a shit about bathroom etiquette at all. They're just like, hey, what's going on? Partying up in here? Oh, this work, this job's fucking killing me, right? Total silence in here, man. For a reason.
Right.
Completely full, but completely silent for a reason.
Right.
None of us are acknowledging the other one's presence here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I won't actually, like, anyone that I know that has ever spoken to me in the bathroom, we have a conversation immediately following that interaction. Yeah. Where I'm like, look.
Come to Jesus.
Do not talk to me when we're in there. Right. I don't care. It's
weird.
This
a conference room. We need to have a meeting.
You can't justify it, and you just have to concede on this one because I'm not doing it. But anyway, so the kidney stone passers need to chill the fuck out because it's weird to grunt that much.
Yeah. Right.
It just is.
Right.
So don't.
Hold it in.
I think the other thing that we need to go in on in these men's restrooms is urinals. Urinals are disgusting. Yeah. And now I get it. The thing is that if men are going to stand and piss in a toilet, they're probably going to piss on the seat and on the floor around it. So it's like, well, we may as well get the urinal in here so that way people can take a shit in some sense of decency, right? But dude, at the bathroom at my work is literally covered. The floor around the urinals is covered in urine.
Almost immediately.
Yes. I show up at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And it is...
Yeah. Pristine. I may come back like 5 minutes later, and it is disgusting.
I've seen urine on the top of the urinal before. Yeah. How did you pee up? I'm 6'5". Don't pee on the top. What are you doing?
Playing a game. It's like shoot the water gun and the balloon at the fair. It's like, let me stand back here.
I can't.
We did that when I was in elementary school. Like, let me stand back like 20 feet so I can make in the urinal. Surely someone's still doing that.
Yeah. And, well, the thing is it's when you're a child, you're learning about what's acceptable in society.
Right.
That's not an acceptable act.
Correct.
But if you're gonna try it, do it when you're 5.
Yeah.
When you're 35.
Right.
Sit down on the fucking toilet in the stall. Stop peeing on the floor. Like, if you have to squatty potty, then do it. Own it. You know what I mean?
That gives you a chance to, check your texts and check your email and, whatever,
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe you only have to pee, but maybe you got a little gas. You know what you can do? Practice courtesy flushing. You can get better at it even if you're not actively pooing.
You think the courtesy plus is going to flush down the gas?
No, the sound.
Oh,
the sound. Remember, it's a double-edged sword, my friend.
Oh, right.
2 senses are covered by that.
I gotta rip some ass. I'm gonna flush this and rip ass at the same time. That's some pretty good timing.
Well, here's the deal. If you do that and then get out of the stall and the other person was in there the whole time and they're washing their hands, guess what? They're looking at you going, you're the guy that made that noise.
Yeah.
If you cover it, you know what they're doing? You're thinking, that's a dignified man right there. That's a man whose hand I would shake, but I will not because we are in the bathroom and we do not make physical contact in here. That's what that is.
I tip my hat to you, sir.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, and you know, the urinal and the nasty bathroom scene. I mean, at workplace and stuff like that, it's not. It can be kind of gross, but it's not so horrible usually. But you get into like bars and
Oh, I'm
weird
super,
gas station.
super like amazed at the amount and length of pubic hair that exists on the lip of the urinal lip. It's like, how is there so much pubic hair here? Who is like just shedding like everything
God.
that they have on the fucking urinal? Like,
And why
it's
is no
so
one trimming this at
weird.
home? What
Yeah,
is
right, exactly.
what's
Are you-
going on with
right,
you?
Right. Hair trimmers exist. Like, let's fucking utilize
Just
them,
get
please.
some scissors, people. I don't care. Just come on.
Something.
Just come
I
on.
mean, some of them are like 4 inches long. Like, dear God, is that really?
Yeah. But at least at work you avoid the like, you know, call Rick for a good time at 555 whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
at least you don't have that.
Yep,
as
exactly.
much.
So that's kind of like, I like to play a game. So I drove down here 3.5 hours from my place to be here. So on the way on any road trip, I like to count the number of racial slurs, swastikas, and dicks that I can find on a urinal or bathroom stall wall, just as a little game to myself, just
Sure.
to see, like, because they're gonna be there, especially in small town, rural areas. Like, you're pretty much guaranteed to see dicks, swastikas, and racial slurs.
Sure.
So I was like, I'm gonna count how many I see, just as a little game to myself, just
Yeah.
to kind of, you know, whatever. So the last one that I found right before I got here, I closed the door, I looked behind me, and it's just covered in graffiti. And first of all, whoever has a knife and is just willing to like just carve things into a door, like,
Right, what?
what are you doing?
Right.
Aren't you there just to like piss or shit and
How
get
do you
out?
function in the rest of society?
Right.
Do you just do this everywhere?
You know what I do when I go into a small gas station that I'm only there to piss? I fucking pee as fast as I can, and then I get the fuck out and get back on the road. Isn't that your objective here?
Right.
Who's like, I'm going to go down to the Phillips 66, the only one 10 miles away on this desolate highway, and then sit there and carve shit into a door? Anyway, there is a giant dick on the fucking back of this thing.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, like that's huge and ridiculously obnoxious. And of course, it's a dick, and the guy obviously put it there, which is ironic, you know, probably
probably.
extremely homophobic, but whatever.
Yeah, maybe
So maybe not. And so I was looking for swastikas because I was like, there's got to be some on here. There always are. So, and I couldn't find any. I found some KKKs and, you know, but no racial slurs. So I was like, oh, you know, that's surprising. But lo and behold, there was a swastika, just one, and it was in the middle of the dick.
Was it the urethra?
No, it was
Okay.
actually embedded, centered in the balls.
Wow.
So at least,
So
I mean,
almost
you know,
like if you were trying to draw the package and then also the taint, but you can't because it's not a 3D image.
Right.
So you're like, X is here. If you're the taint, you would be here.
Yeah, right.
Got it.
And somebody went through and like tried to correct it and just make it like a box with a cross in the middle, so it wasn't a swastika.
So-
But you could tell originally it was. But obviously, it's a twofer, so we got one here.
And you know, I mean, I think again, we need to recap what we've discussed because this is really important information. That again, if you're listening and you're like, I don't do any of this, that's disgusting. Well, guess what? Me fucking too.
Correct.
But we need to be out
We
here
also-
advocating this stuff because
Yeah.
it's wrong what's going on. So again, the rules that we need to. If anyone breaks any of these, you pull them aside and you have a conversation.
Right.
And that conversation is no eye contact, no physical contact, no speaking, no greeting, no asking where you live while someone's taking a shit. That's weird. If you can't pee into the urinal, squatty potty for me because it's nasty everywhere else.
Yep.
If you're making gross sounds from your body, courtesy flush. If there's a smell, courtesy flush. Courtesy flush. Honestly, just if you don't understand how it works, just sit down and make farting noises with your mouth and courtesy flush. I don't just practice this idea.
Get some practice in
Right.
there.
Do not brace yourself against the wall with your forearm. Do not grunt like you're having an orgasm. And if you're at work, you're probably not doing graffiti. But if you're in any other place, stop doing graffiti on the place. It's weird. Stop drawing penises and swastikas and writing racial and homophobic, bigoted things. It's not adding value to anyone. And and we need to advocate against it.
And I'm going to go ahead and add one more that I've talked to you about specifically, not on here before, that I just find really disgusting. And that is, please don't eat anything in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
It's just really weird.
How do you not leave it outside?
So this is a story. Walker and I had a common workplace that we worked at, and I was in the bathroom one time, and I noticed a guy go into the stall to take a shit, and he brought with him a 2-liter of soda and a package of chips. I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to that. I mean, I was speechless. I was literally just so disgusted. It was like, oh my God, are you really just like taking in, taking out? Is that what we're doing right now? Just like not even allow yourself moments of digestion? It's like, I'm going to sit here and shit out.
I'm already at max capacity, so you have to clear some room and add more in.
Taking some 8 hours PTO right here, you know?
Wow. Yeah, I would say the worst experience I have with it is when I was in high school, it was common that people would take the roll of toilet paper. I say people, I assume it was one person. I could be wrong. But there was at least one person who would take the roll of toilet paper, the full roll, put that in the toilet, and then take a shit on that.
Yeah. Yep.
Really, really disappointing.
Right.
Really, really disappointing.
Right.
Don't
Don't really understand the point of that.
None of
is it like I hate janitors, or I hate people that have to clean this up, or
I think it's that they hate the person in the mirror, because that's the only answer. But yeah, I don't know. We could go on for a long time, but I think we've covered the high points, and I think the audience has a list of action items to go forward with. If anyone has any comments or questions, needs any clarity, I would be happy to interact with you. You're always welcome to email me at walker@thewalkshowpodcast.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter, The Walkshow Podcast. But yeah, we gotta cut this shit out. No pun intended.
Pun intended.
So, pun
definitely
intended.
pun intended.
That is going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much again for listening. Please like and subscribe on any of the podcast networks that you're listening to us on. You can also follow us on Twitter to find out when the newest episodes are coming out. And we also ask that you go to our YouTube channel, The Walkshow Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one.